The book of First Samuel is the ninth book of the Bible and the first of the two books that tells the story of the transition from the period of the judges to the establishment of the monarchy in Israel. It is a historical account of the rise of Samuel, the last of the judges, and the anointing of Saul as the first king of Israel. The book begins with the story of Elkanah and his two wives, Hannah and Peninnah. Elkanah, at love for Hannah, who is barren, leads him to favor her over Peninnah and give her a double portion during their yearly pilgrimage to the tabernacle. One year, as Hannah is pouring out her heart to God at the tabernacle, she makes a vow to God that if he gives her a son, she will dedicate him to God's service. God hears Hannah's prayer, and she gives birth to a son whom she names Samuel, which means asked of God. Samuel is taken to the tabernacle at a young age and is taught and trained by Eli, the high priest. Samuel grows up in the presence of God and becomes a prophet and a judge, delivering God's messages to the people of Israel. During this time, the nation of Israel is facing constant threats from their enemies, the Philistines. In one battle, the Israelites bring the Ark of the Covenant into the battle, hoping it will give them victory. However, the Ark is captured by the Philistines, and they are struck with plagues from God until they return it to the Israelites. As Samuel grows older, the people of Israel come to him and ask for a king to rule over them like the other nations. Samuel is disappointed by this request, but God tells him to listen to the people and give them a king. This leads Samuel to anoint Saul as the first king of Israel. Saul appears to be a good leader at first, but he quickly becomes disobedient to God and is rejected by him. Samuel is then sent by God to anoint David, the youngest son of Jesse, as the next king of Israel. David is a shepherd boy who has been anointed by God to be the next king of Israel, but is not widely known or recognized by the people. However, God is with David and gives him strength to defeat the giant Philistine, Goliath, with just a sling and a stone. This victory earns David fame and favor with King Saul, who makes him a commander in his army. David's success on the battlefield and his growing popularity among the people leads Saul to grow jealous and afraid of him. Saul becomes determined to kill David, and David is forced to flee for his life. During his time as a fugitive, David gathers a group of loyal followers and becomes known as a mighty warrior. However, he refuses to harm Saul and still honors him as the anointed king of Israel. In one instance, David has the perfect opportunity to kill Saul, but he spares his life and instead cuts off a piece of his robe as a sign that he could have killed him but chose not to. Saul is moved by David's mercy and acknowledges that David will be the next king of Israel. As Saul continues to disobey God and his rule becomes increasingly unstable, David gains more and more support from the people. Eventually, Saul and his sons are killed in battle with the Philistines, and David is anointed as the new king of Israel. David immediately brings the Ark of the Covenant back to Jerusalem, and God blesses him with many victories over their enemies. Under David's rule, Israel is united and prosperous, but he also faces challenges and sin. He commits adultery with Bathsheba and has her husband, Uriah, killed in battle to cover up his sin. This displeases God and leads to consequences within David's own family. The book of 1 Samuel ends with the death of Samuel and the consolidation of David's reign. It sets the stage for the next book, 2 Samuel, which will continue the story of David's rule as king of Israel. Overall, the book of 1 Samuel is a story of God's faithfulness to his people, despite their constant disobedience. It also emphasizes the importance of obedience to God and the consequences of sin. Through the rise of Samuel, Saul, and David, we see the hand of God at work in the lives of his chosen people. It is a narrative of faith, courage, and God's ultimate plan for his people, leading to the establishment of the kingdom of Israel.